right, well, let's go ahead and get started then. As you know, I did a live stream, I guess it was a week ago today, where we talked about Unit 2 as a whole. And I came back and asked, hey, would it be useful if I continued to do these a little bit? And I got some feedback saying that you'd be willing to play with it a little. And I also took the time to really kind of figure out how to share my screen and so forth, if you will. So what I want to do is I'm going to go over the 3 assignments left in the assertions video Unit 2. So if you remember, down here, practice the techniques by making assertions. Up here, we learned the principles and techniques of business communication. And so in this unit, we're practicing them. And the way we're practicing them is by doing an assertions video. And there were 4 assignments associated with this assertions video. Your team meeting, which you've already done, so we're good there. But now we have an audience analysis due on Thursday. And then we have either a script or a storyboard due after the break, and then the video itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to work backwards and remind ourselves of what this video is all about that we need to do. So I'm going to come here, making assertions, and we'll go ahead and jump forward here to the assignment itself, okay? So in this case, because we're practicing the techniques, I have decided for you your audience and your purpose. Your purpose is to teach conflict resolution techniques. Your audience is Salt Lake Community College students. And so you need to then ask yourself, well, when a Salt Lake Community College student watches a video, what do they want to see? What do they enjoy? What makes them stick around for a video? What makes them drop off, right? And so that's where the audience analysis comes into play. So if I come back up here, and actually we'll just go to syllabus here so we can just scream through them. If I come here to the audience analysis and we take a look, it'll come up. There we go. We say, well, we want to identify 5 demographics and 5 psychographics associated with Salt Lake Community College students. And these need to be demographics and psychographics that will help guide us in what kind of video we're going to make. So I'll give you an easy one. The average Salt Lake Community College student is 23 years old. And by the way, if you go here to Fact Book, right, the Slick Fact Book, you will find all kinds of demographic information. But going back to my freebie here, the average student is 23 years old. That is a demographic, easy to observe and measure. Well, what does this tell us in terms of psychographics? Well, since we watched the video a while back about generations, we know that Generation Z, 23 years old, we know they really like videos. We know they like them animated and fun. We know that they like getting the right, good, clear information delivered to them when they want it. We know that they like mobile devices, and so any video that we make should be nice to watch on a mobile device. We also know that they're not going to give us a lot of their time. They want it short. So that is how these are some psychographics that come from a demographic of age. I'll give you another one. 70% of Slick students work outside of school. And the average Slick student is taking 9 credit hours. Well, now, if you're taking 9 credit hours and you work, you have very little time. And so any studying you do, you need it to pack a punch. So this means that when we make a video, it needs to be 3-4 minutes max, and we need to have a lot of information that they can use and digest. So these are examples of demographics, 23 years old, 9 credit hours average, and working outside of school, as well as psychographics that align with them. Now, there are other demographics, of course, and there are other psychographics. I'll let you research the rest. But remember, when I say I'll let you research the rest, I kind of gave you something. Check this out. Remember, up here in announcements, I gave you an example of an audience analysis. So if I click here and then pull this up, this is the communications plan I did for the Jumpstart Your Semester. Now, we'll look at this in detail later on, but all you really need to look at is the audience analysis. Check it out! There's an audience analysis, and it's about students, no less, right? So right now, we've got 6 people on the line with us watching this video, and maybe 2 or 3 more will watch this video later on. That means there's a handful of teams that are going to realize, well, heck, there's all kinds of demographics and psychographics about the audience right here. And then here is my analysis, where I take the demographics and psychographics, put them together, and kind of say, this is how it would affect our video. Okay? And thank you, Tara. All right, so that's the audience analysis that's coming up here soon. Well, then that means that you then have to think about either, where is it? Here it is. A script or a storyboard. Now, real quick, yes, the script or storyboard is not due until after the break. But listen. Notice they're due on Tuesday after the break. You don't want to worry about this during the break. You don't want to have to come back from the break and jump right into this. What I recommend you do is do it now. Do it this week. Get it done before the end of the week so you can take a break, chill out, at least when it comes to this class, and then when you come back from the break, you can do the actual video. And a week is plenty of time to do the actual video. So there's just my recommendation. But let's look at this assignment. So a script or a storyboard. Now, in a page before this assignment, I apologize, if I hit previous right here, it talks about what goes into a good script. A couple of videos that talk about scripts. Here's a video that talks about storyboards. Here's an example of a storyboard. Wait, Lon, are you saying that this is all we need to do a storyboard? Yes. It doesn't matter how long it is. It just, it's 6 scenes. Anybody can do 6 scenes. The storyboard isn't for me. The storyboard is for you so that you can have a plan when you start making the video. You do not need to do both a script and a storyboard unless you want to. It's helpful, but you need to do one or the other. So if we go back to the assignment, you're going to see, well, okay, you can write a script, and if you're interested in doing a script, well, heck, pull up my template. You can use my template, and you can actually see an example of an actual script I put together for one of my videos, the how to ask for feedback. So you can pull that up. Or go ahead and draw yourself a storyboard and submit that. I'm hoping you'll do this before the end of the week, because then you can totally chill out for the break. And when you come back, you have a plan in place for how to do a video. You've got your audience analysis. You've got a good, clean understanding of who your audience is. You've got a script or you have a storyboard. So when you start filming, you're like, we totally know what we're doing here. Okay? So that's how I recommend we do this. The echo is returned. Well, that's okay because we're about done. I have no idea what's bringing that echo in and out. So now is the time for you to jump in if you have any questions about this. Because when we come back from the break, I'm going to offer to do another live stream like this. And when we come back from the break, we're not talking about these assignments anymore. We're talking about the main project, the big project, the real project. Okay? So this is really kind of our last chance to talk one-on-one, as it were, about these video assignments. So I'm going to pause and see if there's any questions that you have. As you're generating questions, after this live stream, I'm going to publish the live stream and post it there to Canvas. I'm going to ask if you feel that this has been a good use of your time. I enjoy doing this. I feel like it gives me a chance to kind of help explain and clarify some things. But if you don't really feel like it's a super great use of your time and you're like, I mean, for example, we've got 6 people here. 6 out of, I don't know how many, let's see, 6 out of about 60. So I've got, 10% here. Not bad, but I'd like more. Unless students just feel like, you know what, it's not really that helpful. So I'm going to see what folks say. Is it okay if the videos are just shot on a camera phone if we don't have video equipment? Yes. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about that. So good question, Leanne. Don't knock camera phones. These bad boys are amazing. I mean, they can do all kinds of things. I've shot a ton of videos on my camera phone. In fact, many professional YouTubers do a lot of vlogging on their camera phones. Also, remember, you can do animation, you can do Powtoons, you can do PowerPoints with voiceover and animation. Make sure there's movement and so forth. But yeah, Leanne, just to be super clear, this is not a video class. This is not a cinematography class. This is not a, artsy class. Well, then why are we doing this? Because today, business communication is done a ton through video, and I want to see that you know how to take the principles that we've talked about in this class and apply it to video. What are the principles? I want to see that you have a clear understanding of your purpose. I want to see that you have a clear understanding of your audience and their psychographics. I want to see that you have a clear understanding of how they use video and that you can create a video that speaks to them. So at the end of the day, and I'm not saying this to be cute, at the end of the day, your video might very well suck. It's all right. It's your first video. Maybe it's your first. But you can totally kill the assignment because you've shown me that you know how to do all these things. On the other hand, I've seen videos that were just like really clean and perfect, but they totally missed the intent of the assignment. And so those are always disappointing. So long answer to a short question. Use your phone, you bet. Okay. Any other questions there? So what I'll do, folks, hey, you know what I forgot? Take a picture, man. Hey. Take a picture, and that way you can, do a screen capture, take a picture, do whatever, and you can send this to me and get some extra credit. Ethan, you're asking, I sort of ended up doing a very detailed Google Sheet script that I still haven't finished yet. Mostly use voiceover and animation. You can absolutely share it with me. Now, Ethan, be careful that you don't get so detailed that you get lost. Remember, a script is really kind of a guide, right? So, for example, here, and I hope you took a picture here, but you can take a picture at any point. It's all cool. I'm going to bring up monitor 2 for a moment. I'm going to show you my example of my actual script. This here in the center, not over here, This is the script here in the center. And as you see, okay, it's fairly detailed, but if you actually read, oh, hey, you know what? My monitor's gone. If you actually read this, but then look at my video, you'd see that I just kind of used it as notes. Furthermore, my video was like 16 minutes long. Your video is not going to be 16 minutes long. Your video is going to be like 3 to 5 minutes. And trust me, this intro alone was like 3 minutes. So don't get carried away in the writing. Word to the wise. Okay. All right, so we had a couple other people join on. That's cool, not a problem. I am going to take this video or this live stream, whatever, and I will go ahead and publish it and put it in announcements so that you can reference it, and I'll let you know where things are and so forth. Okay, yeah, good. You did notice the difference. Perfect. And so with that, folks, thank you. Oh, we have one more joined on. I'm sorry, guys. We kind of went through it. It was short and sweet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to publish this video like right now, and I'll tell you the time area between this time and this time where I talked about the main things. And that way you can get the information. Okay? So with that, let's go ahead and wrap up. I'll stick around for a moment in case you have more questions. Otherwise, thank you very much for joining, and I'll follow up with you and ask if this is something you'd like me to continue. All right? Have a fantastic evening, everyone. All right, I don't see any other questions coming through, so I'm going to go ahead and close out, and we'll talk to you later.